Yeah. So if like I'm not, let us say there is some issue and I have not been redirected, then what I will do is I will basically say else CTX is like where I'm sending, saving the form data. So form, I will say that equal to form, so that I can check where the issue is. Like, it will give return the problem back to the, let us say, view. Next thing is, now this block is completed, if else, where I'm checking the form validation. Now to handle this, if like where I'm checking request method is post, if it is like, not like not post, then I can say that form equal to new user form, and then I can say that again CTX form. So there is some issue, whatever information I got, I want to return it back to the view. So I got some error, and that is because I don't have any kind of like, new, let's say, return. And I also have an error of import where I'm saying that new user new form. Sorry, it is not user new form, it is new user form. New user form. So if I say Control C, then yeah. So if I press Control D, it will save all the like, similar, or let us say where it has matched the word, it will select it and I can change it at the same time. This is the feature of Visual Studio Code. I can say that new user form, right? Now, if I do this, now it is saying that it has no issue, but there is an issue where I'm not returning anything. So it will not render anything. So next thing that I can actually do is basically I can say return render request. Yeah. So and then I can say that food order home sign up dot html, and then I also want to pass on this information. So every time the sign up process is completed, I want to save the new user information inside the user table that I have. That is, it will be handled by the Django. The validation will be handled by the Django, as well as you will see that a lot of things are going to be handled by the Django itself. And if it is failing, I will see that whatever form information was, I want to return it back to the view, that is back to the user, so that, and also I want to print some message to let the user know what the issue was. You will see that if there is some issue with the password, I will get an error, but the email that I have written, first name, last name that I have written will be saved in the, let us say, registration form. Next thing is I also want to create a login. So because there is no electricity, things might like, change. So that is why I'm creating it right now. Else I would have like, created the sign up page first. But let's create it so that we can cover most of the part as soon as possible. So let us say def, and then I will say that user login. Make sure that you are not saying def login, because login is something like a reserve word inside Django. So if you are like, using login, it will not work. So you have to say like user underscore login, or let us say log, and then I is capital. That will be also possible. Or let us say login or underscore user, or let us say user and then capital L and then login, or let us say user login will also do. Then I will have some request. And then what I will be doing is, if the, let us say, request dot method equal to if the request method is post for the login, then I want is like username. I want to save the username that I got from in there. So request post, I will say username. Same thing with password also. Again, I will copy it. I copied it using Control Shift arrow button. It will copy the word that is like, on the left side, or Control Shift right arrow will copy the word that is on the right side. Then I will press Control D. It will match the second word. So these are some shortcuts of VS Code that you should know and you should use it. It will make everything much more faster. Then I will say that password. Okay. So now I have user and password. I need to pass this user and password to authenticate. Now this authentication will be handled by, let us say, user equal to authenticate. Remember, I had imported authenticate here. Yeah. So, and I will say that request, and then I will give the username. So what my username is, it is saved inside the variable with the same name username. And then I will say that password, which is again saved in the variables with the same name as password. The next thing that I would like to do is, if user is not none, if like I'm not getting, like I'm getting some issue and the user is not none, user exists. Just give me a second. There is some internet issue. Okay, so electricity just come back, so that is a good thing. So if user is not none, then what I can do is, so login, and then I will say request user, and what else I can say is that, like, I will use the login that I have seen here, login, right? And this user is saved here. So first I will authenticate, then I will use the login feature of Django to log the user in. Then I want to, let us say, return something. So I will be returning HTTP. Yeah, HTTP redirect. Yeah, so HTTP redirect, and I will be reverse looking to the. So this is something called as reverse URL looking. So I will look back to the home, so that user is redirected to the home after the he has logged in. Instead of just staying on the login page, he should be directly, like, automatically redirected to the home. Then I will say else, and messages, which is imported here, Django contrib messages. I will say messages dot error, a function by Django. I will say that request username, let us say password is incorrect, right? So I want to let user know that his username and password is incorrect. We'll be using the messages using the template inheritance in the login.html and also the signup.html, where we'll be printing this specific error message that user or password is incorrect, to let the user know that he has made some mistake. Next thing is, okay, so this if block is done, okay, and it should always be post. So I will not be handling error, because if it is not post, then I don't want the user to log in. That means there is some malicious user out there. I will say return, and then I will say I want to render. What I want to render is again request, and then I will say inside food order home, I will say login.html. Okay. Why, what is the food order home HTML? Again, in the template, I have a folder known as food order home. There I will create a login page, and that is what I will be rendering. Next is the most easiest that is possible. That is def user. Again, you want to not say def logout. You want to say user log out. Though make sure, like, things that are really common, like login, logout. These things are really common, right? So here I have imported a login and logout. So when you create another function with the same name, it will give you an error. So user logout, and here I will say that on request, I want to log out, and like log out the request, the logout request that we have, and I want to render what no, I want to return. Sorry, not run. First I have to return, then I have to render. So return, what I will be returning is redirecting the user back to the home. Now this is home. Ideally, what we want to do is we want to redirect the user to the login page after he has logged out. But because we are making sure that user can come to the main page without logging it, we can redirect him to the home. But in an ideal scenario, you want to redirect user back to the login page. Now we'll be creating two templates for login and HTML. So let me see. So first I will be creating the sign up page. So basically we know how to create it. So let me close it. So templates in food order home, I only have index, right? So I will be creating a new file like signup.html. Next, what I will be doing is I will be creating login.html. So in the signup.html, before that, we also need to one more thing in the urls.py. I want to add all of those links, right? Yeah. So why do I want to add this so that I don't forget it later? So after like main, when the user has come to our domain, what I want is I want to say that no, I can actually simply copy paste three time. Why three time? Because we have login, sign up, and log out. Three URL. Here I will say sign up slash, and then I can say uh, login slash, and then I can say logout slash. I will give it a same name, login and logout. Now in here I have to call it sign up because the name of the function in view is sign up. Login is user uh, login and it is user logout. Let me just check if there is no issue. So if I save it, yeah, there is no issue. Just go to view, sorry, to view and user logout, user login. Yeah. So just cross, just confirm if they are right or not. So I have URLs and those URLs are admin where I will be adding the food items and I will be also seeing the orders that like items that I have already ordered. Then I have main domain name, then I have sign up, then I have login, then log out, order and success. So this is actually it for the URL. Those are the only URLs that we will be creating in this project. Now let's handle the sign up. So basically, what I want to do is in the sign up, first I will extend the base, extends base dot html, correct? Then I will give a block title, block title. And also one thing that I forgot to tell you is that I should have tell you first. Whenever you are using, let us say, code formatter. So if I right click and if I say that format document, then it will make your code look good, make it more readable. But there is some problem with the Django where let us say if I have block title and I'm opening this specific curly braces, but let us say that it is ending on the next line. Sometimes it is not able to catch that. So make sure that you are using right formatter for Django. Okay, in extension tab, you will find some formatting tool. I don't know anything, so I will not recommending it because I don't use formatter in here. I will use formatter when I have like just PHP or let us say HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but in Django, I don't use formatter. In title, I will say sign up and then I can say that and block. I want to end this block. Next thing will be I want to load static because if I have any static files, I will maybe I will forget to write this statement. I will just load it, but I don't think we'll be needing it, but we can load it. It wouldn't hurt to load it. Then I will say that block content, and then I will add this block. Yeah. So here I will create a container. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so this right spelling. So here I will create a container. Then I will create a div with row. Remember, to create a class and division, you just have to say dot name of class, ID name of class. It will create a div with that particular class and ID. So after creating the row, what I will be doing is I want I want my login form to only take 6 columns instead of entire page, so that it looks good. 6 column, and then I will say that all the text that is in there, I want it to be center, and I want the margin to be auto from all 4 sides. So MS is margin side, E is for height. Looks, I want like all the margin to be automatically fix itself based on the window that I have. Okay, so if you you have multiple classes, what you have to do, instead of giving let us say spaces, just give dot, again give dot, and then again give dot, go to, and I write here. Now I have a class which called MD6 space text center space ME auto space MS auto. Next thing I want is I want to create a form, an HTML form to be specific. We have already learned like this kind of HTML form. So I will say that I want to create a form, and instead of action, I want method. And here I will say that the method should be post. So I have created a form with method post. That means every time this form is submitted, it will use post method to submit that form. HTML by default can make some request. Okay, this is like capability of HTML forms. So, and Django works really well with the forms, so you should use it. And there is some basic validation that HTML and Django both of them perform, so that everything is secure and nothing malicious is going on. Then I will say that if I want to initiate a cross-site forgery attack tokens, so that it is not there is nothing forgery going on in between. So this is again you should do it whenever you have a form. But as I said, we have used CSRF accent for the view of order, because we are going I wanted to make sure that order can be done even if in let us say a user is not on a secure let us say connection. CSRF token. So I think it is CSRF. Yeah. So next I will say H1. Sorry. So I want is H1, and then I want a margin to be 5. Why? Because I want to say that sign up. So when this word will be there on the screen, sign up, it will be in the H1, like it will be big font text, and it will be like have some margin, so that it is not hugging the navigation bar that we have. So the navigation bar and sign up, I want some space between. So I can use margin top. So the top level margin. Remember the CSS box model that we have learned on this day 2 CSS. Next thing I want to do is I will say now this is where Django we can use some Django functionality. So I will say for field in let us say form. Now this is some inbuilt functionality of form, where I can have field inside a form. So every form has a field, right? So what field a form will have? Input, label, and things like that. So I am saying that every field in the Django form, I will make sure that I have a bootstrap to make it look good. I will say that form control. So when the input is rendered by the registration form, and what inputs will be rendered by Django? In the registration, we have used class meta. In there, we said username, email, first name, last name, password, and password too. Those inputs will be directly rendered by the Django itself. I don't have to type every input in my form. I can just type things like, let us say I have form control, then I will say that I want margin to be 2 inside the form that I have, and then I will say field that label tag. We have labels and tag. Remember in HTML, I can say label for which input, and then I can have input, give the name of input. Remember, but in Django, I can say field label, and simply I can say that I want label to be rendered first, and then below the label, I want the field. So again, I will say that I want a margin between the inputs to be 2. So I will say field, and then what I can do is, so let us say, yeah, I want help text. So basically, if I can say if field dot help underscore text. So what is help text? Help text is basically, sometimes when you register on a website, you will see that they have some option where it says that password has to be 8 character long, right? So what validation Django has, if we say if field dot help text, it will print those in below every input, so that user when they are registering, they will know what are the things that they need to follow when they register. And then I will have a small text. Remember, we have div paragraph h1. We also have small text, which will be slightly smaller in size. In the day one, we have learned what they are. So I will give it a class, and the class will be text danger. Text danger is basically red color. So sorry, not text danger. I can simply say info, because this is info help text. Then I will say curly bracket. I will say that uh, field dot help text. And then I will end the if and if. Right. So next thing that I would like to do is, I would like to have another div for errors. So I want to print the error at the end when the user has clicked on submit. I will have a div, a block level element, so that it is taking entire space and it is not on the same level as the help text. Okay. So I will say for each error in field dot error. Yeah, I'm writing the wrong spelling for the field. This will be field. This will be field. Sorry, and also this will be field. FIELD. Next will be again a small, and in this small, I will say that class with text danger. I want the red color text to let the user know that this is something important that he should look at it. I simply want to print all the errors that we have got. So, error. And then I want to end the following. So I will say and for. So this is done, I think. So after ending for, what I will be doing is, so this is my form, and then I can say that I want submit. So I will say that button type of submit, and here I can say that class we need button. I want a small button, and then I want to say that BTM success. Inside the BTM, I will say sign up. And this for loop that I have, I would like to close it here. So using this template functionalities, we can write programming things like if and for loop. We'll be seeing them more in a few minutes. So I have the sign up button, and if I refresh it, if I go to sign up, okay, so it is saying that food order home sign up.html is not there. URL is there, but the template is not there. Okay, let's see. So it says SIGN, and in product URL, not URL. View, let's see what I have written. I have written it. Let's see what the issue is. Template exception template does not exist. Okay, we'll do one thing. Okay, let's first finish the coding for this. So in the sign up, what else I wanted? Let's see. So after the form is done, I will do is let's first create an margin to class, and here I will say that span already have an account, and then what I will do is I will create an A tag with href of I will give login URL. So let us say URL percentage sign, then I will say URL, and then here I will give the name of URL link that I have given, and I will also say that span, and here I will say class of let us say h4, and I will say that text primary, and here I will say that login now. Okay, so sign up is done. Next thing that I actually wanted to do was let's see what else we can do. Okay, so we have created the sign up. Okay, so inside the base.url, what I will be doing is I will create an A link for this also. Yeah. So in A, I can say login, and I can say that login, and here I can say sign up, and then I can again say sign up. So I have login and sign up now. Let's see. So I have login and sign up. If I go to login, it is giving me nothing because I have not written any code. And on sign up, it is saying that it is not here. Let's see why. Yeah, we got the issue, and issue was that in sorry, not in URL, in home, in view, instead of food, I am saying FOOR. Right. So now if I come here, log in, it is saying that there is again. So it says that empty, unexpected, empty, and for. Do you forgot to register or load this tab? Okay. So let's see. In sign up, what issue we are having? Okay. So I have the for loop, and what I can do is so for loop, and I'm closing the for loop. And second thing is that let's see here also. So I have the for loop, I'm closing it, and then I have form control, and then I have margin beside the tag. Then I have another margin with the field, and here I am saying that if field dot help text, and then I'm printing the help text, and I'm saying that, and then I'm saying that for error in field, I'm printing the error, and I'm ending the for, and then again I'm ending the for. So if I let's say, let me just refresh it. Okay, and I will say that I will close the browser cage. Yes. Okay, so and now what I will do is I will say Python manage.py run server. Okay, so no issues. Here I will say 127.0.0.1 colon 8000, and then I will say sign up. and it is giving that invalid block tag on the this. It is saying that I'm writing invalid. Okay, so let me just remove it for now, and then let's see if it is working. So I will say remove. Yes. Yeah. So the issue is here. So there is some issue with the block title. And the block, refresh. Check what the issue is. Okay. On close tag. Okay, so I am not closing a tag on line 3 uh, block, looking for one of end block. It is saying that I have not closed it. So end block and end block, and I will say yeah, so it is in front of me. Instead, I was using a round bracket instead of curly bracket. So I just have to say end block. And now if I say, yeah, now I'm getting it. So where I wanted to set and if I refresh it, it is again saying that I have not, so there might be some problem with the if, so I will see what the issue is, but for now, let's say this. So I have signed up and then it is in the middle, which says username and then email, first name, last name, password, and then password confirmation. And then at the end, I have already have an account login now. And if I click on that, I will be routed back to the login, right? So for now, what I will do is we will not fix that issue today. We'll fix it tomorrow. There might be some issue like I have to, go in the documentation and check the documentation. Like I might be making some kind of syntax error. So I will solve it tomorrow because if I go for the documentation right now, it will probably take a lot of time. Next thing I want to do is I want to go to login, and in login also I want to create the same thing. So I will just copy it in the login, and here I will say login, and now I will first close the block. So end block, right? And now I will say container, then I will say row, and then I will say that call MD, and again 6, and then I will say that I want text to be centered, and then I will say that ME auto, and then I will say that MS auto, and again I will say that I want the merging to be 5 from the top. So I got a div, and then I will again create a form with the post method. I will remove the action because we are handling the action using the button. We will need the action when we will be working with the PHP, because in the PHP you have to provide the name of the file, PHP file where the action will be performed. So next thing that I wanted to do was again add a CSRF token, initialize it. So CSRF token, and then I want is H1, and I want class to be let us say H1, and I want the margin to be 1 from the top, and here I will say that login, and then what I will do is I will create another div with the margin 1, and in this div I will say that input, and in the input type I will have basic text, but I will also say that name will be username. We are not using the Django labels that we got in sign up, right? So here I have something called as label, like field label, and then the field. So we are not using that on the login. I want to show you that we can also do it like this also. So user, and then I can say that I want a placeholder instead of label, where I can say that enter your, let us say I want it to be capital. enter your username, and then I will say, I will give it a class. The class will be form control. Yeah. So form control, and then I will make another div with the margin one for password, where I will say that input colon. If I say pass, I will get the pass, and then I will say that uh, password, and I will say like I want to give it ID or not. No, I will not give it an ID. What I will be doing is I will say placeholder, and inside the placeholder I will say enter your password, and here I will again give a class of form control, right? And because the login is authentic, like handling by the Django itself, I will have something called as if messages, because we had imported messages, not message. I will say uh, for message in, it is basically like for I in any list, I will say for my message in messages. What I want is I want a small text which will have class of text danger, and here I will say I want message to be printed, and then without forgetting I will also end the for and for, and I will also end if. I have done this. Now I will have a button. I will have the button inside the form itself. So what it will be like button. I want the button to be submit, and here I will give it a class of btn again. Btn sm will be a small button, and then button success, and then I will say that simply login. Uh, Login. Right. Second thing I will do is after the form is done, I will give a link for the sign up. Let us say a user has already so he has not logged in. He want to sign up, so I will give it link to the sign up. I will say MP2 for margin 2, and here I will say that span. Span. I will say that span. I will say class, and I will say that h2 text to be primary, and then I can say that don't have an account, and then another span. So sorry, a tag I will give it. So in a tag I can say URL signer. That is the name of URL, and I will say that here I will say class h4 text primary, and I will say that sign up now. So if I go to login, I have login. I have enter your username, enter your password. I have a login button and login button. Right? So I can say that MP1 margin top. There is some space and some more margin. So login and already have an account. Sign up. So now I would say let's see what else we need to do. Yeah. So I want to do is, so let us say in the base.html, I want to check if the user is authenticated or not. And if it is like let us say user has logged in, I don't want to show login and sign up, right? I want to show the name of user, and I want to show a logout button. When the user is not logged in, I want to show login and sign up button. So what I will be doing is here, I can say that if user dot is authenticated authenticated Then I'm using the ampersand. Yeah. So if the user is authenticated, and I will do something there, but for now I will say that else block, and then I will close this block. I will end the if. I will say here, and then I will say here. So here I will say A, and I will give. We have already created URL and view for the logout. Right? I will say URL, and then I will say that log out. And here I will simply say I will give it a class. I can, yeah. So I will say that h4 text ranger, and here I will say that log out. I can do one more thing. I can say that let us say what I can say h4. Yeah. So h4 with the class h4, and then I can say that using template inheritance, the current user dot username. I can say welcome user dot username to welcome the user. So for now, I have not logged in. It will show me login and sign up, but I know that I have created a super user. So I will say login. Yes, and then password login. Then what it is giving me is welcome. Yes, logout button. If I click on logout, I am redirected to the home page. So our login and logout function is working. Second thing that I want to do is, let us say, yeah, so I have some time remaining. So next thing that I want to do is I want to send the name of user in the order and save the order in the database so that with admin panel, I can check what the order is. But before that, I would like to show the sign up, check if sign up is working. I already have a username of yes. I will say yes1, and I will say yes1 at the rate, let us say yes.in, and yes, yeah, and then password will be, let us say, some random password. And in password confirmation, I will type the same password. So this is username, this is email, this is first name, first underscore name, last underscore name, this is password and this is password too. If I click on sign up, then I am redirected back here due to some issue, I think. But let's check if yes, it is working. If I press login, yeah, yes, one was working, but the redirection is not working. So we also have to fix that. So tomorrow we have two things that we need to fix. First is to fix the if block where we are not seeing like help text. Second thing is that we are not redirecting. So we'll also solve that tomorrow. So this is an issue with the redirection. Remember it. So thing that I want to do is, so first I will go to the, first I will just close these files. Okay. So here you can see we are actually done with like let us say creating a user, signing up with the user, creating a new user using registration, and we are also like what we want is we want to share the name of user when we make an order. So we'll go on order JS and go to checkout. Why I'm coming to checkout? Because the username has to be sent using this fetch API. Correct. So I have to say that order data. Here I will say username equal to username. Correct. And what I will do is I have the username in order, right? So I have in base I have user dot username. I will simply say is that uh, script. I will say var to make a global variable so that it is accessible from everywhere. Var username equal to, I will say user dot username. Now I have made a syntax mistake where I need to create the double curly braces. Now I have user dot username. Also, I have spelling mistake. So order data username dot username. In the view, I need to get this access also. So here I will say that I will just change all of this to username. Correct. So now what should happen is that every time I make a request, I should get orders, messages, and the name of user. We are logged in as just one. I will say pasta, burger, pasta, and go to the order. I will random, let us say extra cheese. I will make the order. It says the name of order, order received. We have ordered. In here, I have name of order. I have extra cheese, the message, and I have the name of user Yashwant. Ideal scenario, you don't want to show this on the browser console. I will repeat again. When we will be deploying it, we will be removing it. And even if I want to know that something is going on, I will be using encryption to encrypt this data so that admin or someone should not know which user he is. You should only know the information that user want to give him. You should not get information that user has saved or working with when he is logging in or registering. Next thing is that we have done with like username. So what I want is I want to create a model to save the order data in the database. So I will go on. I was handling the food order, right? So and I already have a model here. Here I have a model for the food item. I will save my food order model inside food orders app. Here I just have to go to models. And in the models, I already have model. I will again need to import something that is from. I will say that Django.db. I want models, and then I want to import JSON field. Right. So JSON field, and I will say that class order. I want like models dot capital M, capital M, so model, and then I want is some username equal to models dot char field, and then I will say that max length equal to, I want maximum length of username to be 150, and then I want the order message. Right, you can't use message. It is again we saw that we have imported message and messages. I will say that in models dot text field and close it FIELD text field, and then I will say that orders equal to the JSON response that we are getting. Correct. And then I want a string representation of this if it is not working so that I can debug later. Here I will say that I simply want to return self on this class username. Correct. Now we know that we have like the models, right? So next thing that I want to do is I want to register this model in the admin. Here I have admin. I will say that from dot models, I want to import order class. Then I will say that class order. Previously, we saw that all we needed to do was basically admin dot site dot register, and then I wanted to do was order, like order, right? So order will be registered, but I also want to see the orders. So what I will be doing is admin, and then I will say that yeah, so admin I will say admin dot model admin. So the administration of the actual model, so admin dot model admin, and then I will say that I want to display this information that is a username, order message, and I want to display the orders. Next thing I want to do is I have some error. We'll see what this is, but before that, I will say that Python manage dot py make migrations so that orders table will be created. And then I will run migrate to create the order. I'm getting some error, and the error is that from Django model import cannot import the name JSON field from this. Okay, so I'm making some mistake in here. That is basically an import error. Okay, so I cannot import the field. Why is that? So Django JSON field. Let me check. Again, like let us say you have edge. Okay. So in S, there is a functionality. I will extend this session for 5 to 10 minutes because we just need to create the model and we will be able to see this after we have logged into the admin. So just extending for the 5 minutes. So I will paste here and I'm getting the error. So in the chat, I will say. Okay. So this is how you can use things like chat GPT or let us say this kind of thing to know this kind of issue. I can just when I enter and this kind of information you can easily find it because they are related to import. So all lot of information is visible when we are actually doing this. So it is saying that I need to import it like this. Okay, so I will copy it. So there is some changes. Let's see. Okay, so now again getting the same issue. So you mean JSON field. Yeah. So I will say copy this and I will say wait. So this is why Django is good because it is able to catch a lot of error, basically the typo error. Now I was able to migrate because I don't have any typo error. Then I will say that Python manage.py migrate. It will migrate all the changes. You can see, okay, so it has already created when I did it. So I will say that Python manage.py run server. Okay, so I have the JSON field and also that. Now what I want is basically, yeah, I want to make one more change that is in the views.py. I want to save this information. It is already printing the information that it is getting from the data. We are not actually saving it on somewhere. So what I have to do is I have to simply say that let us say order equal to, and then I can say that order, right? But sorry, order. But before that, I have to import the model that I have created. From models, I want import order model that I have order class that I have created. I want to save username. I will say data dot get. Get is not like a function of getting some field value. I want the username key, and then I want the order message. I want it to be data dot get, and I want it to be the key was message. And then I want orders uh, equal to data dot get orders. Now we are not changing it to JSON because we have already said JSON dot load. Correct. So now it should be done. So what I will do is I will go to home. I have already logged in. I will say add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. So it is pasta, 2 burgers. I will say, let us say, any random word. I will say order. It has done. On server, I can get this information. Then what I want is basically here I will go to admin and I will, you are authorized as yes1, but you are not authorized because yes1 is the normal user that I have created using registration. Yes is actually the main admin user. So I have this, okay. So I have the food and I also have the orders table where I can get the order object. So yes, okay, so sorry. Okay, so let me see. We'll close it, clear the page for now. We'll do it. Here I will say orders, order object. Yeah, so it is giving the name and then it is giving me some data. Okay, so it is not actually. Okay, so I think there is some issue with the cage. So we have to see what the issue is. Okay, let's do it. We have already done it, right? So we will fix it tomorrow. Tomorrow, so there are 3 things that I want to do. Let me just write it. So first thing that I want to do is that is to fix the error in and if block in let us say sign up. Second I want to do is I want to fix the register redirect. And third is I want to clear the cage and get the model that we have created. So I want to access order database. So we'll do this tomorrow. It will not really take much time because I think I have made some typo mistake while typing. So I just have to cross check my code. We don't really have time to do that. Tomorrow we'll be do that. I will do it live so that you can see how it was fixed. And then we'll be deploying it on the Heroku. We'll be learning about AWS. And then on the last day, we'll be learning more about web development. We'll be creating one more project. So I think we can conclude here for the day. Sir, can we conclude for the day?
Yeah, so okay, thank you so much. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I will upload this video and tomorrow we'll complete the project and then we'll complete the training on last year.
Sir, this video can users want to download, so can you enable that access?
No, downloading is not available in YouTube. You have to get YouTube Prime actually. If they want the downloaded video, I can download it and then I can share it with them using, let us say, Google Drive.
Please share with me because many interns are not attending, and we have to give them assignment also after completion of that. So
what I will do is I will download it. It will take some time because they are big videos. So
sure. No issues.
By tomorrow, I will make a Google Drive of all the video and then I will give it to you. Okay, with public access.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.